All right. Well, we had a little technical difficulty, but welcome on out, everyone, to the first ever Apex Show and Sell at the Peak live stream. This is the series where we talk with our champions, our Supreme and Reserve Supreme champions from last year. Today we have with us Shadow Mountain Show Goats, the Israelsons. How are you guys?
We are well. Appreciate you having us, Riker.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. Seth. And then we've got Allie and Kenna.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. So I got everybody's name down, and we're ready to rock and roll. So, like I said, we're gonna have all of the champions and the Supreme champions and Reserve Supreme champions from last year's sell on. These guys brought an excellent goat consignment. I'm super excited for them to come out and bring another set to us. So, guys, kind of give us some background information on your herd, how it all got started.
Well, we both had goats separately, me and Jake, for a few years. Jake probably a little longer than myself, but once he moved up to Cache Valley, I think 2015, we combined our herds into one herd, called it Shadow Mountain Show Goats, and we're based just outside of Logan, up in northern Utah. Have about 35 does and try to breed good show animals.
Absolutely.
You got to give something to do when it's cold outside. Yeah, so a few years ago, we actually went to California and bought some stock from JJL and HJ show goats there in California, and we're getting a pretty good base of does and bucks now, to where we're consistently kicking out some pretty quality kids.
That's awesome. So you've had goats kind of go all over the western US, I would say, and even down into Texas. Talk about the kids that you're working with. Talk about your own kids and kind of what showing means to you guys. And Kenna and Allie, you guys can chip in here too and talk about what you like about showing goats and the family aspect and all that jazz.
Well, we would like to show more than we do. We get so tied up with the cattle and the hay and sports and everything else, just like everybody. We just get so busy that sometimes it's hard to get out and hit as many shows as we'd like. And so we're a little unknown in that respect. Ken and Allie are good showmen and would like to go to more of these shows. We just got to try to get a little better organized and hit a few more of these jackpots and get some of these goats out in the hands of some good showmen.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's hear from the girls. What are your thoughts? You like showing goats?
Yeah, showing goats, yeah, it's really fun. I really like it.
I enjoy it a lot too. I think it teaches you hard work and how to work hard for things. So I think it's good in lots of different ways.
Even when it was 2 below zero this morning, they were out feeding. So
how far below zero?
We were -2 this morning.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty hard to put goats in that weather.
Yeah.
Why the heck am I moving to Cache Valley?
Question your intelligence, Riker.
No, you moved to Cache Valley for the summers, at least, because it's gorgeous.
8 months out of the year, it is pretty nice up here.
Yep.
Yeah, and Jacob mentioned that we don't get to as many shows ourselves as maybe we should or we would like to, but we have had some good showmen over the years that either buy goats from us regularly, or we'll lease out does during the show season. People will do good at them. Sometimes they end up buying them. Sometimes they come back home, but our goats get out a little bit. They need to get out a little more, but we get them out there.
Well, that's great. I mean, I think the Apex presents a great opportunity in that that way. We're trying to really provide a lot of exposure to the breeders that come to the Apex. So hopefully that helps with that.
Yeah, great job. It's
Just
been-
want to let everybody know that is watching online. We can see your comments as you comment, and we can answer questions live as we go through our little session today. So feel free to drop a comment whenever you like, and I can read it directly to Jake and Seth and the crew. So, all right, let's kind of dive into a couple different things. Let's talk about some customer success. So just as we kind of look at these pictures here, tell me about them, and tell me about the kid and how it all went. So we got looks like a Martin County. Is that what it says?
Yeah. So this girl, her name's Bailey. She got involved with us early on. First couple of years buying goats from us might have been a little rugged for her because we weren't quite where we needed to be. But over the years, we were able to get her a little better goat each year. And she showed goats throughout, the Intermountain West down into Texas. I can't remember if this particular picture is in Wyoming where she lived or down in Texas where she moved to.
This is down in Texas.
But yeah, this is one of those showmen I was speaking about a minute ago that been a regular partner with us and had some good goats get into her hands over the years.
Awesome. And now where is Martin County? Is that Texas, did you say?
Yep, that's down in Texas.
Okay, for those of us who don't know our Texas counties, name a city for us.
I think that's down by Fort Worth, but I am not 100% sure.
Okay.
We have not been down there to deliver goats.
All right, let's see here.
So these are a couple buck pictures that you went through really quick.
Yeah, let's start with this one.
All right, this a newer buck for us. We call him Thunder. He came from Kansas, from Bad Boys Boars last year. We got our first crop of kids out of him last September, and then another few kids this past January. I think we got 2 of the 4 goats going to the Apex this year out of this black-headed buck, and they're both black-headed. We got a black weather and a black doeling. He is a rooster or a dreaming son who was a venerable buck down in Texas out of a gray goose Pfeiffer doe that they purchased at Bad Boys. So he's been all right for us. He's not necessarily
definitely added some color to the herd.
And he had some good looking fall kids, and the January kids they're maturing a little bit, coming along.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next buck.
So this is our buck Trump. He's kind of the main buck that we started with from Justin Burns there in California, and I mean he's changed our herd quite significantly. As you can see, he puts a really nice butt end on him, and just a really stylish buck.
He's a
He's
James son out of a natural disaster doe. Got a lot of 900 blood in him on both, the top and the bottom, but he's been around for a little while. But we have a lot of does out of him. We had a couple of his sons past few years that we used, but he's still going. We're still breeding does to him, and he doesn't quite look like that anymore, but he still looks really good for his age, to be honest.
He throws some kids. He's a really consistent buck.
Yeah. So maybe if you guys could give us some background for those of us who aren't goat people, what is the 900 buck that everyone keeps referencing?
So there's a couple foundation bucks in the weather world that a lot of stuff traced back to. 191 was a well-known buck. 900, 2009, which is we had another buck that we got rid of recently that was a 2009 grandson. I don't remember all the pedigrees on all these bucks, but it's pretty normal to find the 191, the 900, the 2009 blood in a lot of the weather genetics throughout the country.
Absolutely.
I'd say those are probably three of the foundation bucks of the industry.
The weather goat world.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you. All right. What do we got here? It looks like a big ribbed, good looking kid.
Yeah, that's just one of the kids. I believe that's a last year's kid that went on to win a county fair grand champion. That's out of a buck we call Walker.
And Walker was out of a buck named Boudreaux, the one that we recently sold, who was the 2009 grandson. The Boudreaux buck, he came from Larson Livestock out in South Dakota. They got a good little herd of show stock out there. So this is a Trump. Yeah, Walker, the sire, would be a Trump grandson. So the Trump buck, in our opinion, made him really, really blocky and square and stout, strong and wide. And then this Boudreaux buck and this black buck too that we're now using, this Thunder buck, giving him a little more stretch, a little cleaner up through the front end, a little more style to work with that strength and power of the Trump lines.
Awesome. All right, let's maybe scroll back here. All right, we got a couple pictures of some goat kids, good looking ones, by the way. Tell us about these goats and why you sent the picture in.
So these are both Trump sons. These are not current goats. These are previous year goats. But yeah, like Jacob said, it's a little cold up in Cache Valley right now, a little wet and muddy. We don't have our January kids quite ready to go today. But yeah, these were Trump wethers a couple years ago that we sold in an online sale. I believe I don't know if it's this one or the next one. Ended up doing pretty well throughout Nevada. But yeah, these would be Trump kids, and like I said, we just these particular ones we thought had good balance, good rib shape. These ones might have been a little cleaner front-ended than your typical Trump, but these good, sound, solid goats, in our opinion.
Awesome. So tell me, did your Trump buck come with the name, or
he did
give him the name?
Yep. Not that we have anything against the name, but JJL, Justin Jennifer Burns out there in California, they had a naming contest on this buck kid that they had at the time, and Trump was the winner. He was born right after that 2016 election, and that was a hot name at the time. And then shortly after the naming contest, we went in and bought him.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you guys gave him the name. Needed a good story, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just to be equal, we'll have to name the next one Biden. I don't know.
It depends on who your customers are, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. 2163. This is the goat that came to the apex, right?
Yeah, so you'll see a picture of that goat at the apex as you scroll through there. This is the wether that won last year. Skelly's actually bought this goat and took him into Texas and showed him around Texas and did very well with him. I need to call Dallin up and find out how he ended the year out. But earlier in the season when I talked to him, he was very happy with him, and they had a lot of success with him down there.
Yeah, and I just want to add, this goat was killer. Like you guys hit it out of the park on your first ever consignment to the apex. And he got the cool Apex brand painted on his side. But just I was really impressed, and I'm super excited for the quality of your brand. For those of you who are watching this broadcast, the Apex is going to multiply by 6 the number of goat entries we're going to have. We're moving from like 10 to about 60 headed goats. So we're expecting a lot of quality and a lot of options for people to come and, sort through and find their next goat that they can haul all over the place and win a bunch of shows with. And this goat is the prime example of what we like to see at these sales. So I want to thank you guys for bringing him last year. And I don't know, maybe turn the pressure up a little bit more, right? there's 60 goats coming. You better bring your best, right? So
Yeah, these girls better practice on how to exhibit these and how to fit them, because we've got some good quality this year. It's going to be fun to see what the competition looks like.
Yeah, it'll be good. Okay, let's keep going through this because you got a bunch of cool pictures that I want to get to. So let's dive back into here. This was the doe you brought last year. Do you know where she ended up going?
Yeah, so this doe ended up getting purchased by McGuire's down in Utah County in Utah. She did get shown a few times throughout the country. Was recently back in Oklahoma, I believe. But they just brought her up again last week to get bred to our Walker buck. So she's looking good. They've done a good job with her. Hopefully the next generation is even better with her.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good looking doe that you brought. All right. What do we got here?
So this is a past Cache County champion. Luke Downs. Sorry, Logan Draney showed this one, and yeah, he went out there, and first year he ever showed a goat, and he went out and won the show with it. So it was exciting to see the success that he had.
So you sold one that beat your own kids?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing lately. My kids, Uncle Seth makes sure everything can go for sale, and then we get the leftovers. So I'm in a little bit of trouble with my kids. But they maybe don't do as good as they could.
You sell the best and show the rest. That's what I think.
Well, good. I think that's good for the people watching. Hopefully they know that.
Yeah, hopefully they heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're bringing your best.
My girls may have a different opinion than what Seth has.
Well, I guess the girls better save their money and bring it to the apex, right? So
yeah, they might be bidding.
Perfect. All right, we got what looks like a grand reserve in one show.
Yeah, these goats won up in Cassia County in Idaho, Burley area.
Okay.
They were out of they were out of does that we sold to a breeder up there, Brandon Brackenberry, and sired by our bucks. I don't think Trump was a sire on both of them. I think we had a buck named Troublemaker that we also bought out of California a couple years ago that sired one of these. But yeah, they've done good up there with the goats they purchased from us, and then they've expanded their herd past few years. Got some really good blood in there as well. So we've worked back and forth with them a couple times, trading breeds, some of our does on their bucks and vice versa. But yeah, they're good people up there in Cassia County.
Awesome. All right, we got a.
So this is another sore subject with my girls. This is another goat that we sold to one of the girls here in Cache County, Nicole Welker, and really slow growing goat. He only weighed 52 pounds on the day of the show, but his quality was good enough that they put him as a reserve champion and beat my girls a couple years ago.
So you get a lot of these colored goats like this one?
Yeah, we get a few reds every year, and now we're starting to get some black-headed ones, and so we get some color.
Awesome. All right. Is this another sore subject?
Yep, that was a last year's champion. And my daughter Allie had him picked out from day one, but she didn't bid high enough. And so,
What the heck, Allie? You got to pull out the checkbook.
I know.
well, then she's going to want us to pay her more to feed. So yeah, Lainey and her sister Sadie Downs have been buying goats from us for a few years, and they really took it serious this last year and fed those goats right, worked those goats, and they had them looking very good at the fair.
Yeah, that goat looks like it. That one's very different than your 50-pounder. You can tell.
Yeah. 2 years ago, the 50-pounder, he was reserve, and then this last year, this one, the heavier one took it. So
I just want to comment that whoever designed your banners in 2021 did a better job choosing a representative of a goat.
true.
That looks more like a weather goat. I don't know what that thing is, but
yeah, that's not what the industry demands right there.
So, congrats to whoever designed the 2021 banner. You've stepped up your game. All right, looks like we got a buck here.
Yeah, this is Dark Horse. This is the first Trump son that we kept. We kept 2 Trump sons. The other one we named Stonewall. Stonewall was a really good buck. We sold him last year. This buck, out of an HJ doe from Kyle Jefferson out in California. This goat has tremendous, and always has had tremendous rib shape. He's just so round ribbed, long bodied, got a super wide front end. Doesn't have quite the hindquarters that his sire Trump had, but man, from the hips forward, this is the kind of goat we like. And we only had 2 pregnancies to this buck in this past fall for January kids, but the ones we got, we have a really good set of twins out of him this year.
We'll be using him a little heavier this spring.
We sold part interest in this buck to a fellow breeder, but he still spends most of his time in Cache Valley. It's been used by the partner occasionally, but yeah, like I said, really, really good rib shape on this buck.
Yeah, he throws a lot of consistent kids. He's very rarely do we ever get a dud out of this buck.
So, and how many years have you used them?
He was born in 2018, I believe. So he's been through 5 or 6 kiddings.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, like everybody else, or a lot of people, we probably end up with too many bucks. But you always just get a good one that you don't want to put a band on, you don't want to sell, but then you end up with maybe more buck power than you need.
I was gonna say you've got 35 does, right? And
That
thinking our
doe,
ratio is about 3 to 1, right?
Yep, we got plenty of buck power when it's time to breed.
So if one of them's not fertile, you're covered.
Very rarely do we have an open doe.
Good. All right. And then this one just came in with the caption of kid. So tell us about the kid.
It's just a goat that a picture I snapped of a kid walking around last fall, one of our September kids. You know, they're always so hard to get that nice 3/4 rear view because they want to look at you or run away. So I'm not always the best getting pictures, but this is a good wide square kid. Real good back end, wide and strong over the top. This goat ended up in California, getting shown out there right now. So hopefully it matures into something pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks like he's real nice and blown apart in his pen set and got nice rib shape to him. And a sheep guy can see it, so it's obviously good. All right, Nevada Junior Livestock Show and Sell.
So this is, if you remember the little red goat that won, this is actually his mother. God, I can't remember what year now, probably 3 years ago, that she was sold into Nevada, or I guess leased into Nevada, and they jackpotted her pretty heavily, and she did phenomenal. She ended up winning the Nevada State Champion for a breeding doe, and yeah, we've had some nice kids out of her. We still have her in the herd.
That's awesome. So tell me, is there one particular win that just stands out as your guys' favorite, or yeah, let's just start there with that question.
Girls, do you want to answer that?
It's kind of hard to keep track of all of them, but
But all the shows they go to is the county fair, and they've done well at the county fair.
We
Never won the county fair.
We have won the county fair.
Okay.
You know, it's Allie's gotten grand twice there.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten grand yet, have you,
not
Kendall?
grand, no.
But it's always fun to see the star class at the county fair when half the goats come from our herd, and see those kids succeed and be successful with things that we're breeding on our farm. So yeah, I don't know if there's any one particular win.
We'd like to win a class down in San Antonio or Louisville or San Angelo one of these days, but we're working towards it.
We got to get Seth more committed to hit the road.
You got to make those deliveries, Seth.
Oh, I've been trying.
All right, we got another Nevada Junior Livestock Show and Sell.
Yeah, this is the same kid, or the same young man that he bought this wether. Obviously, we leased him the doe. Did really good with both of them. This would have been another Trump son. This I have a doe, number 616. Just a powerhouse doe. We lost her last year, but boy, she kicked out some really good stuff. One of Allie's champion wethers was out of this same doe. And we have 2 daughters of that 616 doe in the herd right now. Our best doeling this past fall, I think by far, was out of one of her daughters, and the dark horse buck. But yeah, this is just a good, nice, balanced, long body, clean neck goat out in Nevada.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We got what looks like a ripper goat down in Salt Lake County.
Yeah, so this one we sold to the Lopez's. I don't remember what year. All the years blend together now. It's probably been 3 years ago. And they bought some does from us, some bred does. And this is one they were able to show and do very well at the Salt Lake County Fair. And now they've increased their herd and have some pretty good quality goats. But a lot of them are based off the goats they bought from us.
Awesome. Exciting little goats. I think that brings us to the end of our pictures.
Yeah, we'll have some more throughout this next year. Sometimes we get too preoccupied with other things on show day and maybe don't get as good at pictures as we should.
Well, and you know, sometimes the show managers like Riker don't hire a good photographer to come in to take nice photos for you. So,
But he's going to have them there this year, right?
yeah. So we're bringing in next level livestock imaging, and they're going to be snapping both ring photos and backdrop photos. So we'll have a professional there. So if you guys repeat, you'll get a really nice picture.
We hope to. We'll see. There's some good competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will throw this out there, though, for anybody listening. We're always interested if there's somebody that wants to fit or picture goats for us, if an agreement can be made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if there's some good showmen out there that want some pretty good quality goats, I mean, we're willing to make a deal to get those goats in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. So Allie and Kenna, you guys aren't the fitters and the picture takers?
I mean, we help a little bit, but we're probably not as
We're
good
not
as there's a lot of people out there. But
They're practicing. They're getting pretty good. But we just need to hit more shows and get more practice, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go to enough of the jackpots, you will get good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some amazing fitters that go to those jackpots.
Absolutely. All right. Some rapid fire questions for you guys. What's the favorite animal you've ever raised? Tell me about that one. And maybe you each have a different one, but that's cool. You can each tell us your favorite animal you've raised.
I'm kind of partial to Trump. He's just given us some really good quality stock over the years, and I think he's going to stay on our place forever.
Till the day he dies, huh?
Till he dies.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll have to get him mounted on the wall one of these days.
Stuffed.
Yep. Yeah, Trump's been a pretty good buck. Walker's pretty good goat too. I think he's kind of brought together everything for us. He's got the Trump blood in him. He's got the Boudreaux blood in him. He's got the Jefferson blood in him from HJ. I have a really good doe that showed well a few years ago, number 803. And then he's been extremely consistent on his kid crops as well. Just really balanced, but square, strong, fancy goats.
And we will have a Walker weather at Apex this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, girls, what's your favorite animal?
I had a doe that I showed how many years ago at the Utah State Fair that has had a couple rounds of kids that she's thrown some pretty nice kids. I'm proud of that. So I think that's one of my favorites.
Is that the one you taught to leave the day before?
No, it was super last minute.
Allie, what's your favorite?
I've had a lot, but one of my favorite ones was the weather I showed at Apex. I don't know. I liked him a lot. So
Pretty cool goat.
yeah.
Pretty cool goat. All right, what hobbies do you guys have outside of goats?
So our hobbies are our two-legged kids and our four-legged kids, and cows and hay. That seems to be all we do. Every waking moment we have.
Yeah. Throw irrigating in there.
Yeah,
Irrigating. There we go. So what sports are you two involved in?
I do cheer.
Cheer. Okay.
I do track.
Allie
Track.
just hurdling in track, so
Hurdles. What distance in track?
100.
100 meters. Perfect. And I know nothing about cheer, so I can't ask you any follow-up questions.
I know nothing of cheer either. But yeah, we like time together as a family and around the livestock, and
That's
try to get
perfect.
to the mountains once in a while, but we don't make it there as often as we'd like.
Yeah, I get that. So, all right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end. Do you have any online sales coming up?
Not this year. I mean, obviously we got the Apex goats that we're gonna have there, and then the rest we're just gonna do private treaty this year.
Okay.
And anybody's more than welcome if they want to come out and look at what we have. I mean, we're always there, so we can usually make it
You have a
work.
phone number I can give people to call if they want to get a hold of you for some show goats?
Yeah, you can either message us on Facebook, and Seth kind of handles that, or if you want to call 435-592-0666.
And is that Jake or Seth?
Yep, that's my cell phone, Jake's cell phone.
But yeah, we have 20 January kids on the ground right now. 4 are going to Apex. The rest, they'll be available. We'll probably keep a few of them ourselves. But we try to breed our does to kid in September. And this year we backed it up a little bit to January, but we'll probably go back to what we were doing in the past, late December, early January. So about half the herd sticks in the spring when we breed, and they kid in September, and the rest in end of the year. So if anybody's looking for a fall kid next year, we'll be putting cedars in here in a week or two to get the does bred again for September kids and see what we end up with.
Okay, perfect. Well, I want to say thank you to the entire crew for coming out and doing the live stream with us. Just some reminders for everybody. The Apex show and sell is April 8th and 9th. The sell is on the 9th. The online catalog will be available at sconlinesales.com. And the show will be streamed through Showbarn Flicks. So all these awesome animals that the Israelsons and all of our other consigners are bringing, you'll be able to see them. You'll be able to watch the judge evaluate them. You'll be able to make some of your own evaluations as well, whether you're there in person or watching it online. And then the sell itself is also broadcast through CCI Live Sells. So you'll be able to bid live as the sell happens. If you have any other questions or want to find more information about the Apex, visit us at theapexshow.com, or you can follow us on Facebook. And heck, we even have a YouTube channel. Bunch of crazy kids. And that brings us to the conclusion. So once again, thanks guys for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, April 8th and 9th, come pick out your next champion and get yourself a good goat or sheep that can be competitive. Okay, thanks.
Well, thank you, Riker, and thank you everyone that joined us. We look forward to seeing you all at Apex.
Yep, we'll see you there.